Imagine waking up each day without the pressure of a 9-to-5 grind, knowing your finances are secure and your time is truly your own. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today I'm going to share with you the secret to making that dream a reality. The 4% rule. It's not just a financial strategy, it's a blueprint for financial freedom and early retirement. Stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to break down how you can apply the 4% rule to generate passive income and achieve the life you've always wanted. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, what is the 4% rule, and why does it matter so much when it comes to financial freedom? The 4% rule is a simple financial guideline that was developed after analyzing over 50 years of market data. It's designed to help people figure out how much they can safely withdraw from their investments each year during retirement without running out of money. Here's how it works. If you have a certain amount of money invested, let's say $1 million, the 4% rule tells you that you can withdraw 4% of that amount each year, or $40,000. The theory is that your portfolio will continue to grow enough to cover inflation and market fluctuations, allowing you to live off that $40,000 without ever depleting your original $1 million. But why exactly 4%? Financial experts found that 4% is a safe withdrawal rate, meaning that even through market downturns, like recessions or stock crashes, your portfolio has a high probability of lasting for at least 30 years, perfect for retirement. Here's another way to think about it. Instead of thinking of your investments as something to cash out when you stop working, the 4% rule treats your money like a source of income. You're not selling everything off. You're letting it grow and using just a portion of it each year to live on. The genius of this strategy is in its simplicity. You don't need to be a financial expert to use it, and it's adaptable to various levels of wealth. Whether you have $500,000 saved or $5 million, the rule still works. The only thing that changes is how much you can withdraw annually. Now let's dive into how the 4% rule leads to true financial freedom. The whole concept of financial freedom is about one thing: control over your time. The more control you have over your time, the more freedom you have to live life the way you want. The 4% rule allows you to break free from relying on a paycheck. Instead, your money, the money you've invested, works for you. When you build up a large enough investment portfolio, you can live off your 4% withdrawals without ever having to worry about running out of money. This means no more waking up to alarms or stressing about your next paycheck. You're tapping into passive income, meaning your investments generate income without you lifting a finger. But here's where it gets really exciting. You don't have to wait until you're 65 to apply this rule. Many people use the 4% rule to achieve early retirement. This is part of the financial independence, retire early, or FIRE movement, where people retire in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, decades before the traditional retirement age. By aggressively saving and investing early, you can apply the 4% rule to break free from the rat race much sooner. Alright, now let's get into the real meat of the video. How can you apply the 4% rule to your own life and start building toward financial freedom? It's easier than you might think, and we're going to break it down into 3 simple steps. Step 1. Calculate your financial freedom number. The first thing you need to do is figure out your retirement number. This is the amount you'll need in your investment portfolio to live off 4% comfortably. Start by thinking about your yearly expenses. What do you need to live the life you want? This includes your rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, healthcare, travel, and maybe a little extra for hobbies or entertainment. Let's say you need $50,000 a year to live comfortably. To figure out your target, take that yearly expense number and multiply it by 25. In this case, you would need a portfolio of $1.25 million to safely withdraw $50,000 a year using the 4% rule. This number is different for everyone. If your yearly expenses are only $30,000, then you'll need $750,000 invested. If your lifestyle is more expensive and you need $100,000 a year, then your goal would be $2.5 million. The beauty of this step is that it gives you a clear target to aim for. Once you know your number, it becomes easier to plan and save toward financial freedom. Step 2. Build a diverse investment portfolio. Now that you know your number, the next step is to build an investment portfolio that will get you there. The 4% rule assumes that your portfolio is invested in a diverse mix of assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate, which historically provide solid returns over time. Why does diversification matter? Because no single asset class performs well all the time. Stocks may be soaring one year, while bonds offer stability when markets are down. Diversifying your investments spreads out the risk and helps ensure that your money keeps growing. For most people, investing in low-cost index funds is a great place to start. Index funds track the overall market, meaning you're investing in hundreds or even thousands of companies at once. This gives you instant diversification. If you're new to investing, don't worry. It doesn't have to be complicated. Many robo-advisors will automatically diversify your portfolio based on your goals and risk tolerance. You can start with a small amount and let it grow. Step 3. Stick to your plan. Once you've built your investment portfolio, the key to success is consistency. Stick to your plan and don't touch your investments until you're ready to withdraw 4% annually. One of the biggest mistakes people make is panicking when the market drops and selling off their investments at the worst possible time. The market will have ups and downs, but the long-term trend is upward. Historically, the stock market has returned about 7% a year, adjusted for inflation, so stay the course even during volatile times. Discipline is key. Trust the process. The 4% rule is built on the idea that markets recover, and your portfolio will continue to grow even if there are dips along the way. Now that we've covered the basics of the 4% rule, let's dive into some practical tips to help you maximize its effectiveness and make the most of your path to financial freedom. Tip 1. Start early and take advantage of compound interest. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. Compound interest is a powerful force. When you earn returns on both your initial investment and the returns it generates, your wealth grows exponentially over time. Starting early, even with small contributions, can make a massive difference in the long run. Let's say you start investing $500 a month at age 25, and your portfolio earns an average of 7% a year. By the time you're 65, you'll have nearly $1.3 million. Compare that to starting at age 35, where you'd end up with about $610,000. The difference? A decade of compound interest. Tip 2. Keep your living expenses in check. The less you need to live on, the less you'll need to save. Keeping your expenses in check is one of the easiest ways to make the 4% rule work for you. Living frugally doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your happiness. It's about making intentional choices that align with your long-term goals. For example, reducing unnecessary expenses like subscription services or eating out frequently can free up more money to invest. Tip 3. Be flexible and adjust to market conditions. While the 4% rule is a great guideline, it's important to stay flexible. In years when the market performs well, you may be able to spend a bit more. But in years when the market is down, it's smart to be more conservative with your withdrawals. Reducing your spending in those lean years can help ensure that your portfolio stays healthy for the long term. For example, if there's a recession or a bear market, consider pulling back to 3.5% or even 3% for that year. This gives your investments time to recover while still allowing you to maintain your financial independence. Tip 4. Rebalance your portfolio periodically. Over time, your portfolio will naturally shift due to market performance. You might start with a 70-30 split between stocks and bonds, but if the stock market has a great year, that split could shift to 80-20, increasing your risk. Rebalancing your portfolio once or twice a year ensures you stay aligned with your risk tolerance and investment goals. This involves selling off some of your high-performing investments and buying more of those that are underperforming, which keeps your strategy consistent. The goal here is to maintain a steady balance between risk and reward. Stocks offer higher returns but are more volatile, while bonds provide stability but lower growth. By rebalancing, you ensure your money is working efficiently toward your goals. Tip 5. Consider healthcare and unexpected costs. One important aspect to keep in mind when planning for financial freedom is accounting for healthcare and unexpected costs. Healthcare costs can rise as you age, and it's essential to have a plan for how you'll cover them without derailing your retirement. You can factor in long-term care insurance or build a buffer in your financial plan specifically for medical expenses. Many people also set up a health savings account, HSA, which allows them to save for healthcare costs in a tax-advantaged way. Financial freedom is about more than just covering your basic living expenses. It's also about preparing for life's surprises so you can enjoy your retirement without fear. Let's step back for a moment and talk about the emotional impact of financial freedom. It's not just about the numbers. It's about what those numbers represent: security, peace of mind, and freedom. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your future is secure, that your time is yours, and that money is no longer a source of stress. That's the emotional payoff of financial freedom. For many, reaching financial independence means finally being able to focus on what truly matters. Whether it's spending more time with family, pursuing passions you've put off, or simply having the mental space to relax and enjoy life. And that's what makes the 4% rule so powerful. It's not just a financial strategy, it's a pathway to emotional and mental freedom. When you no longer have to worry about paying bills or saving for retirement, you can live with a new sense of purpose and fulfillment. It's a life where you make decisions based on what you want to do, not what you have to do. It's where the stress of, "How will I make ends meet?" disappears, and in its place, you find contentment, joy, and peace. If you're finding this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps more people discover this content, and it lets me know that these topics resonate with you. Plus, it ensures you won't miss future videos on how to build wealth, invest wisely, and achieve the financial freedom you deserve. Before we wrap up, let's address some of the common concerns and myths surrounding the 4% rule. I know many of you are probably thinking, but what if the market crashes? What if I live longer than 30 years? Is this strategy really safe? These are valid questions, so let's break them down. Myth 1. The 4% rule won't work if the market crashes. One common fear is that if the stock market crashes, you'll lose everything. While market downturns can be scary, the 4% rule is built with these fluctuations in mind. Remember, you're not withdrawing your entire portfolio at once. You're only taking out 4% each year. This gives your investments time to recover. Historically, the stock market has always bounced back from downturns, and by maintaining a diversified portfolio, you'll reduce your risk of losing everything during a recession. In fact, research has shown that even during major events like the Great Depression or the 2008 financial crisis, people who followed the 4% rule had a high probability of their money lasting 30 years or more. Myth 2. What if I live longer than 30 years? The 4% rule is often based on a 30-year retirement, but what if you live longer? Great question. First, living longer is a good problem to have, right? But here's the thing. If you live past 30 years of retirement, you can still make adjustments. After your 30-year mark, you may decide to slightly reduce your withdrawal rate, moving it down to 3.5% or even 3%, to ensure your portfolio lasts as long as you do. In the best-case scenario, if your investments perform well and you don't need to touch your principal, you could even have more money than when you started. Myth 3. You have to be rich to use the 4% rule. Another myth is that you need millions of dollars to apply the 4% rule effectively. But the truth is, you can start building your portfolio from any income level. The key is consistency. By regularly contributing to your investments and letting compound interest do its magic, you'll be amazed at how quickly your money can grow. Start by contributing what you can, whether it's $100 a month or $1,000. Over time, the power of consistent investing will pay off. And remember, your financial freedom number is based on your specific needs, not a fixed amount. If you need $40,000 a year to live comfortably, you don't need $5 million, you need $1 million. As we come to the end of this video, let me leave you with this final thought. The 4% rule is more than just a financial strategy. It's a gateway to living life on your own terms. Financial freedom isn't about being wealthy. It's about having the freedom of choice. It's about the freedom to spend time with your loved ones, to pursue your passions, and to live without the constant pressure of working to make ends meet. The 4% rule provides a clear, simple roadmap to that freedom. It may require patience and discipline, but the rewards, both financial and emotional, are well worth it. So, start today. Define your financial goals, build your investment portfolio, and stick to the plan. Your journey to financial freedom may take time, but every step brings you closer to a life of peace, purpose, and independence. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you found value in today's video, please hit the like button, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on personal finance, investing, and building wealth.